So here's the flow factor worksheet, and I guide you through this how to do this. Probably the most important sheet that you will ever do. By the way, if you do not have diabetes, you're just here to check for somebody else, you can use that same sheet for like everything that you're doing right now. So if you don't have diabetes, but right now you would like to think through like all of these tasks that I need to accomplish, you can use that as well and begin here, and you will get the same benefits from this worksheet. Keep in mind, these are worksheets that I'm using with my executive coaching clients as well. So here is an example. So what we're doing here on the left, first like writing all the tasks, right? So for this person, it was like walk around the block each day, research gyms in my area, hire a babysitter for when I'm in the gym, use an online app for diabetes management, and cook plant-based, right? So that person has determined these are the 4 tasks that are now where that person is in this moment in life. These are the 5 tasks that are absolutely crucial for his or her diabetes success. Again, your list may look totally different, right? You may not be interested. Your number 1 priority may not be to get in shape right now, right? So maybe your number 1 focus is to get your finances in shape, to get a better job that allows you to manage your diabetes, to have a different emotional relationship with your disease, right? So whatever it is, these are your tasks, and these tasks that you see here on screen are only for illustrative purposes. So, and then you see down here on the very bottom, you see a pain chart. It's very similar to like a pain chart that you would see at a doctor's office or hospital, where you define the level of your pain from no pain to worst pain possible, right? So I would even go a little bit further and say like 0 is no pain and 10 is death. So that, which means you would never really cross 10, or mark 10, but you get it. Like 10 is really, really, really bad, right? So that's your scale. And now you rate each task on the 3 factors: motivation, likability, and knowledge. And I will explain that to you as we go along. We start with motivation. So what motivation means is not whether or not you like the task. Motivation is what is the first step, or is the task that you're doing the first step that you would take when you had the freedom to be yourself to get the job done, right? So, for example, walk around the block each day, right? Is that, that person says like every time I wake up in the morning, I do that anyway, right? So when I need to solve a problem, the first thing I do is I go out and take a walk, because when I walk, I'm like, clears my head, I think better, right? So yes, that's absolutely typically the first step of anything. The first step when I need to solve a problem. When it comes to research, the percent, that's the kind of like between moderate and severe pain. It's not like researching, I rather like to have 2 or 3 choices that somebody gives me, but going through all the data, where these gyms are, what it takes to get there, what their training programs are, what it costs, what the terms and conditions are, how good the trainers are, and what the qualifications are, what other gym members say, and so on. It's just not my thing, right? So, but I can do it, but it gives me some kind of pain. So the third one would be hire a babysitter for when I'm in the gym. Said okay, hiring a babysitter like moderate pain. It also it includes a little bit of research, and whenever I go about solving things, or completing or starting like a project, research is not how I start with, right? So I would start with brainstorming, for example, but not with research. So if this job here requires you to do research and that's typically not the first thing you do. Your motivation to get started will be not as high, right? So you give it like a pain number, whatever that you feel is the right one. So again, that's in terms of the first step that you need to take. Is the first step something that you would naturally do? So if you list, for those of you who listen to or join the last one, right? So I just see some note here. So if you in the step number 3, we talked about the Kolbe assessment. And again, I cannot use the Kolbe assessment to help you manage your diabetes, but you can use it to understand how you would naturally work. So in the context of Kolbe, your Kolbe index, if you've taken it already, that motivation column would be called cognitive strength. So if you have a chance, go to my website, teamlawless.com. You can buy the Kolbe A index there, and that gives you some indication of this column as well. The reason I spend so much time with this column is because it's a new concept for many. Most of us, when we think about a task, we think about, do we like it and do we have the knowledge? We rarely think about, do we have the natural strength and the natural talent to get the task done? So motivation is really about, do you have the natural talent to do this? And one way to establish that or determine that is by thinking through if the task would be the very first task you would typically do if you solve any kind of problem or begin any kind of project in your life. So this is one. Then you go, when you're done here, you go to likability, right? Which is, do you like that task, right? So here that person says, yes, I love walking around the block. There's no pain at all. Researching gyms, so that's like, it's like, I hate it with a passion. Not only is it something I would not naturally do, which is the motivation, I also hate the task. So then you go, like the next one is hire a babysitter. I could do it, not my forte. Same thing, I like it. Yeah, it's a little bit more painful than it should. But if I really have to do it, I do it. So that person gave that task a 6. Using an online app for diabetes management, that person says, yeah, no pain at all. I love journaling. I love entering data. I love to look at all of these guys, right? So this is really, really great for me to do, right? No problem at all. And cook plant-based, you know what? The idea of not eating meat, I'm ambivalent to it, but rather not looking forward to it, but I give it a try. So kind of like a 6, right? So, and then the third column is knowledge. And knowledge is really like, do I know what to do? Walk around the block each day? Yes, I do, right? Research gyms in my area? Yes, I do. Yes, I know what it is, but I have no clue what to go about, right? So I don't know what the sports certifications are, what to look for in terms of trainer certification and qualifications. I have no idea what all the weights and machines, what they're doing and so on. I have no knowledge whatsoever. So number 10, hire a babysitter. Again, it's moderate pain, which means, I know what my babysitter shouldn't be like, right? And what kind of person I don't like, but I do not know what kind of person I would prefer and what kind of qualifications I need. So I'm kind of in the middle, right? So third column, with all of your tasks, you just put in, all of your knowledge. So that means at the end of this, right, you have the total score, right? So in the red column called flow factor, you should now have a number between 0 and 18. Between 0 and 30, right? 0 being, no pain at all for anything what I'm doing, and 30 being like the most painful I could ever do. So now you make a decision on what tasks you're going to take on, what tasks you're going to dump, and which tasks you need to work on and change. So everything that has the value between 0 and 9, those are the tasks that you actually do, right? So these are the tasks where you're for sure going to be successful, right? Because it fits your natural talent, you love doing it, and you have all the knowledge that it takes to be successful. So by all means, these are the two tasks that you need to focus on yourself right now, right? That keeps you energized. You know, it's not a drag because you have all three aspects are aligned. So on the other end of the spectrum, you have the tasks that you dump. Those are the tasks that have a value of 21 between 21 and 30. These are the tasks that you dump or delegate. For example, here it says research gyms in my area. Yes, I hate it, right? I hate doing the research. I don't know what to do, right? And it's not my natural talent anyway to research, right? So, but maybe I can give that to a friend of mine who is an athlete and is really excited about it. Problem solved, right? So you can still get the results here for the task of that research, right? Which is really what you need. But you don't have to do it yourself. And all those activities that suck the energy out of you, right? So you don't need to do. The difficult tasks are the ones in between that have a value between 10 and 20, because these are the ones you need to doctor. And doctor means you need to either move them up or down the scale, right? So meaning, let's take one here. Cook plant-based is a good example, right? So one is I don't have the knowledge, right? Or the person here doesn't have the knowledge, don't like that task so much. And also I'm not the first person who would try and experiment with new recipes, right? So now what can we do? How can I still move into a plant-based diet and cooking for myself? Well, one would be I could partner up with somebody who is more excited about it. Like in my case, I did it with my wife, Anne, right? So she figured out some of the recipes. We started cooking together. So we made that more fun, and also an activity where we connect as partners. So here is like I took some parts of the cooking plant-based and tore that apart a little bit further, right? So one is like preparing and researching the recipes and all of that. So that is the knowledge part, right? That Anne was much better at it than I am, right? So she did that, right? She also researched on which of the plant-based ingredients we would like and enjoy, and what they cost, and what are the options, and organized that cooking event for us, right? So I'm a shortcut. I'm not good at organizing. So part of that I delegated to Anne. I didn't delegate in terms of telling her that she needed to do it. We made that decision together, but in my mind, it's off my plate, right? Cooking then and going through it, that was great. So that was at first moderately painful, but it brought the numbers up, right? So that overall I felt much better about it. And as I learned about cooking it, I got more excited about cooking plant-based. So here's an example. So do that with your own with your own to-do list, and you now have that total focus on what you need to do, what you need to dump, and which task you need to finagle a little, so that you will actually follow through on these tasks that you determine for yourself are essential in your diabetes care. So that's a tweetable for today. If you wanted to tweet, or if you wanted to keep that in mind, every time I give a presentation, you will find at least one tweetable. And today's is, when you have too many balls in the air, you will drop them all. That's also true for managing your diabetes, right? So if you want to make a change to your diabetes and have that your blood sugar in check and feel better about where you are in life and thrive with diabetes, focus on the few balls that you can juggle, right? If you have too many balls in the air, you will drop them all. And it's also true for managing the diabetes.